And this time we're going to be using the Floral Quilling, which I absolutely love because you are getting in this kit your metal dies, your plastic box to fill all your florals in with. You've got a set of paper strips. I mean, this is all your paper strips that you're getting in all of these gorgeous colours, and a quilling tool as well. So we're going to make a nice little card using these. You've got all of these fabulous different, from your stamens for the centres of your florals, to all of these different sizes of your petals and flowers. You're going to be able to cut multiples in these, in different shapes, different sizes, and that's what we're going to do to create. And you've even got all of your fabulous leaves there as well. So we're going to cut a large one, and we're going to cut some of the flowers, some of the leaves there as well. Yeah. And I'm also going to show you how to use it to create the centres as well, and I'm going to give you my little top tips on how to create that. Okay. So I think what we'll start with is a lovely, I think we'll choose pink, nice springtime colour again. Now, the way that you can cut these, this paper is quite nice, it's not a heavyweight paper, so you're going to be able to cut a couple of sheets at a time on top with your die. So we'll just bring in our platform. Okay. And I'm going to hold that down into place with some low-tack tape. So that's going to cut that in a line of petals, which you'll then use your quilling tool to make into a flower. Yes, yes. That is so clever. Yeah, so we're going to pop that on first. I'm then going to choose the green for the leaves. So we'll do some of the green. Again, I'm going to be able to cut 2 pieces at a time because of the paper weight. So I'll pop that onto there. I wonder if I can squeeze on there in the centre the stamen. I wonder if we can do it. Use of every little bit of room. So we'll pop that down, and then if I just grab, where have I popped that centre die? Oh, it's there. It's hiding from me. We'll have a white middle. So you've got all those gorgeous spring colours, from reds to purples, pinks, oranges, and yellows. They're just such a beautiful set of papers. But we'll go in with a couple here as well. Now this is going to cut multiples. This die itself cuts out 4 strands, so you're going to end up with 8. So there's going to be quite a bit. But what I'm going to just do to fit that on there is just trim that down, so I can get that on. So if I trim that into that space, use that for something else. We'll just put that onto the centre. Look at that. Now they will fit onto your small plates as well as the large plates. Of course, large plates you'll be able to get quite a few out of there, so you'll be able to put multiple different petals, different flowers on there. So I'm just going to hold that down, and then we're going to run that through the die cutting machine. So if I pop that through, that'll do all the multi-cuts for me, and then I'll show you how to do the quilling. Now you do get a quilling tool with this, and you do get your box. I've already got some made up, but I'll show you that in a second. So what we're just going to do first is take off all of the pieces that we need. We'll get rid of all the bits that we don't. So when you take those out, let's just make sure, because I've got lots of tape on there.
What is the weight of that paper, Stephanie's asking? About a 1...
I think it's... Let's have a look, see if it tells us. Do you know, I'm not really sure. I'd have to little delve into that one, because I'm not really sure. It feels like an 80. Okay. I might be wrong, because it could be an 120.
80, 120, that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's somewhere between the middle there. So I'm just going to take away all the bits that I don't need. So what that enables there is I've actually cut out 2 pieces that I need to create a full flower. And the reason I'm going to show you how to do this bit is because you could potentially do the one, but it'll not give you a full flower at all. It'll give you quite a flat flower. So if I just pop those pieces out, there we go. And then we've got all of our little foliage parts to work with as well. And we've got multiples of those. So I'm just going to put those down there. And let's just push that to one side. Right, so the next thing we need to do, first of all, is we need to join these up. But also, this is at the point where you could add ink. So you could ink those edges up to create a lovely inky flower. I'm going to keep them nice and plain and simple. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of... where we're going to shape them. So if you've got a ball tool and a sponge, you can shape these. Now I shape them from the front side, so to speak. You can turn them over and shape them from this side as well. Now, because it is a paper and not a cardstock, it does mean you can manipulate those into a nice shape. You can pinch them with your fingers if you want to add a little bit of added texture. But I'm just wanting to get that little bit of a shape going to get myself started with a more natural looking petal. So I'm just going to pop that all the way along. And then we're going to join these two pieces together to create the space that we need to give it a full flower. And by that I mean, can you see the in-between spaces here? We're going to line that up so it sits on the inside. So grab your tacky glues, or you could use a red liner tape at this point as well, but you need the very thin one, just to sit along the bottom strip there. And then you're going to take that, and then we're going to start with, in fact, you could start it either way, where you start to fill in the spaces. I'm going to start with this end, and I'm just going to line that up on the top all the way along, and that's created that full petal feel.
Yeah.
Rather than it being gappy. And when you come to doing that, it just creates a much better, fuller flower, and it looks really authentic. Now, at that point, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to leave that there. What I'm going to do is get a couple of the strips. Now, you could use these on their own, and start with the quilling process for a small insert, a small stamen. I'm going to do a double one for this. So I'm going to join these two pieces up, and I'm just going to join them there. You could use other glues like a red liner tape at this stage. In fact, I wonder if I've got a small red liner tape. Oh, I could do with 3mm red liner tape. Let's have a little nosy. I think I might have got one in my bag. Let me double check that. Oh, now then. No, I ain't got one. So I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll do it with a bit of glue. But
Okay.
Red liner tape would be really good, especially for your petals.
Yeah.
But we can do this. Now, put those strips to one side because you are going to do the quilling. And this is where I'm going to give you a little top tip. So rather than starting the quilling process here and then adding the flower, we're going to attach the flowers to this end. So that once the stamen's been folded, you'll go into the natural fold of your quilling with your flowers. And it makes a big difference, complete difference. In fact, you know what I've just realised? I've got my little red liner tape in my little drawer already.
Of course you have.
Of course I have. Here's one I prepared earlier. I'm just going to pop that onto there. Let that glue needs to dry. Don't forget that is a wet glue. It is quite quick to take hold as well. So you're not going to be waiting a long time for that, but just let that process dry.
Yep.
On this bit, I'm just going to put the red liner tape. At this point, you could use the whole of the red liner tape to go all the way along. However, I just want to pop it onto the floral bit, and I'll use my tacky glue for that piece at the end for rolling up the stamen. But just at this stage, I'm going to put my red liner just onto here. So once you've got to the ends, then we're going to snip the end, remove the red liner tape, and then we're going to get our quilling tool. If you get a little bit fingers and thumb at this stage, then leave your red liner tape on until you come nearer the end with the quilling part. But
yeah.
For now, I'm going to try and get that off neatly. You will need a poker tool to remove that red liner tape. And it's just getting your poker tool just underneath at the right angle, because it is a very thin. Let's try and up this. Let's see if we can do it this end. This is why tacky glue is always a good one, but if it's a wet glue, you need to remember it's a wet glue, so it needs a bit of drying time. So I'm going to try and lift that without lifting the whole glue. In fact, you know what I've not done? I've not burnished it. I've not attached it properly. The red liner tape, you just need to attach properly. So I'm just going to burnish that and see if that'll help that lifting process. So it's a little bit fiddly at this stage, but it's better than getting covered in glue.
Yeah.
So for me, it's just worth just getting underneath it. Trust me, my poker tool don't want to work today. Let me see if I can get just under it. There we go. I think I've got it. Yeah, there we are.
Great to see this again, because I feel like quilling is something we haven't done in such
ages.
a long time.
Yeah, it's been ages. So now I'm going to lay this in front of me, and what I'm going to do is not get your finger stuck to it, Debbie.
Yeah.
We're going to just line all of this with a line of glue, and that's just to help that stamen stay fully attached. Now, of course, you can do this with one. I've gone really big to start with, and I'm doing two together. Be careful at the very end not to put any glue. only because when you put in your your quilling tool in
Yeah.
there, you can end up getting a little bit sticky. So I'm just going to thread that through. And the way that a quilling tool is that it's got a little slit in the end to be able to do the quilling. Now, a little top tip as well, just edge to edge. So either use your finger as a guide, or you just want it to be flush to create a nice even stamen.
Is this the only way to do it as well with a quilling tool? There's no workaround if you don't have one?
You can go in, so you mean if you haven't got a quilling tool, you could roll it with your fingers?
Yeah.
You could, but don't forget you get a quilling tool in this kit.
Aha!
So we're not
you're
leaving
all good.
we're not leaving you on your own, you're actually getting your quilling tool. So I'm just going to try and roll that over my finger there, like so. And then when it comes to the very end, and obviously if that was just one strand, it would be a very small stamen. I've gone with a double because I wanted a little bit of a statement piece there. You could go triple, quadruple, but all you need to do is just remember to keep that straight edge. And that applies when you come here. Now, this is why I haven't done, because I will show you the difference between the two. But what we're going to do now is we're just going to roll that around. And as you're rolling it, manipulate your paper. So as you roll it, again, you still want to keep that straight. So can you see how you're keeping that edge straight? You want to keep that as straight as you possibly can and quill all the way around. Now, I find it easier to do this than the other way, and I will show you the other way in a second so that you can see the difference between the two.
Yeah.
Because I've got some stamens already built up and in my box, so I'm just going to make sure that that just goes all the way around to the very end. Now, at this stage, I keep it on because literally you can flatten. Now, that's all good and well, but for me, it's not really quite shaped well. And so what I do is I take my poker tool, or you could use your fingers, and whilst it's still on the quilling tool, I take and I manipulate my petals. And it's very therapeutic, this bit, Ben.
Yeah.
I love this part because you can pinch them with your fingers if you don't want to use your poker tool. At that stage, you could use the other end of your quilling tool if you wanted to. But when you take this time to shape all your petals, it really creates a more authentic look and a more authentic flower. You'll never get two flowers the same either, and that's nature. You don't get two flowers the same.
No.
So there's no right or wrong way at this stage. If you wanted to create a rose, what you would just do is pinch those on the inside, and so you'd curl those onto the inside so that you'd form that kind of shape. However, I want my stamen to be a little bit unsure, so I'm going to just carry on manipulating my petals until I've gone all the way around, and then filling in those gaps. I can just twist that paper because it's such a really good weight. You've got the ability to manoeuvre or manipulate is the right word I'm looking for, that petal to create a much more better looking, fuller flower. And then when that's dried, you're just going to slip that off the end of your quilling tool, and I've got that one prepared. This is when you can, and this is why I'm going to show you. I've got like a triple one there. That's a triple stamen.
Yeah.
I've got a single one in there as well, so I've got a single one. But when you've quilled them, you've then got to take your flower strips and you've got to try a minute. Well, you haven't got anywhere to put your quilling tool unless you force it back in. Yeah. So that's why to connect it together to start with and do the quilling process in one, I find a little bit easier, because otherwise you've got to take that strip of that flower strip and then do that, but then you're doing it with your fingers. And it's kind of taken away the idea of the quilling. Quilling with your paper, manipulate your paper into those shapes, into those patterns. And then of course you've got your box here. And as you can see with my box, I've got some florals already made up. I've got some small ones, and they're all different shapes. You've got more like a daisy feel to that one. I've got them in different. Look at these; they're all beautiful, beautiful florals. I think I'll use those two, and I'll use the daisy one. And I'm going to use these petals and these to create a little bit of a piece for the back of my card. Now I've gone with a 5x7 card for this. So it's a 5x7 simple card with a 4 3/4 by 6 3/4 panel that I'm going to stick on, because what I'm going to do is create a little bit of a background piece with my foliage. So I'm going to use, again, tacky glue, and I'm just going to randomly pop these across the background of my papers. And then we'll start adding the flowers in there to create and build up a beautiful spring-like card. So again, just going to randomly put those and place those around. If they come off the edge of the page, that's okay, because we're going to trim those down. So it creates a little dimension, add a dimension. So if I just pop that, can you see hanging over the edge? We'll trim those off in a second. What I just wanted to do was get a few of these down. So again, I'm just going to pop a little bit of tacky glue. Let's come up into that corner. And then I'm going to use hot glue gun to stick these flowers. These are 3D flowers, so they're not small flowers. So I'm going to use a little bit of the glue gun to stick down the petals and the flowers, sorry. So let me grab my glue gun. And again, you can shape your petals, you can manipulate them either with your fingers or your bone folders. I'm going to stick a couple random in this corner.
These papers are 120 as well, just so
oh,
that
thank you.
know,
I had a feeling they were
Stephanie.
120, Ben. Yeah, I had a feeling they were.
Hence why, like you showed, you can cut multiples
Absolutely.
in one pass.
And to attach these, just pop a little bit at the bottom.
Yeah.
And because I've got quite a full flower there, I've kind of left the petals out a little bit, so I've spaced it out. Again, I'll just do the same up here, and I'll let's add one just down that side. Pop a little bit of glue onto that, into that coat. In fact, I'll move that up just that tad little bit extra. There we go. And then let's get a bit of glue onto the bottom. Add that one.
Very pretty.
They're lovely, aren't they?
Yeah,
they're just gorgeous.
So lifelike as well.
They are. There's such a lovely, real kind of feel to them. But obviously, it's a paper form, which I just think looks absolutely sensational when you add all of these pieces together, and can create some real beautiful pieces as well. I'm just going to add a little bit of one of these going up to the end. So I'll just pop another piece just under there. And again, I'm just using this as decoration in the background. Now, what I did with this piece was I added a sentiment, and then I've just trimmed off through the back, got my scissors and just trimmed off those extra little pieces.
Yeah.
That's all I needed to do. And then it's good to go onto the card base, and then add your sentiment to it as well. And I chose this stamp set from the Whimsy, the Wildwood Whimsy.
Wildwood Whimsy.
Yeah, and then that sentiment blooming lovely, I thought worked really beautiful with that. And I just changed up the colour with this one. So instead of it being a white daisy, I've got a yellow daisy. But there you go. And that creates that beautiful card using that stunning floral quilling set.